An Alabama state Republican has dropped his bid for the US Senate after he was caught lying about an affair he was having. So let's stop and just make sure that we put this out there. I don't personally care about any of the personal rendezvous that lawmakers engage in. Yes, conservatives tend to be hypocrites. We know this. That point is boring at this point. But what was interesting about this particular story is that this guy tried to lie and he got caught in the lie and then had to walk back his denials. So this is the Alabama Secretary of State. His name is John Merrill. And he went on a local radio show to deny the allegations that he was in some sort of affair. And the affair was with his legal assistant, and apparently he would use racist language regularly while talking with her. At the time of his denial, he said, people are attempting to use this to either advance the candidacy of other people, or they are doing it primarily to harm me and my family. It's very frustrating and very sad. Now, hours later, AL.com found, or someone leaked to them, this audio recording that the woman that he was having the affair with gave them, okay? And so this woman was like, oh yeah, he's gonna deny it? Here you go, I recorded him. And it's like this 17-minute long audio, and after AL reported on it, John Merrill came out and said this: it's clear that I had an inappropriate relationship with her, and it is not something that I'm proud of or something that is something that I'm very disappointed in myself. I'm also disappointed that I allowed my family to be embarrassed by this action, and it's something that I certainly will always regret because of the pain that it has caused my family. So he is dropping out of running for the Senate seat that will be vacant as a result of Senator Richard Shelby retiring. But all of that stuff is fine and dandy, whatever. That's actually, in my opinion, the irrelevant part. This is the relevant part, okay? And please mark my words, it will save you in the future. Affairs are messy because how do you end them? Like when they end, the only way they can end well is if both parties agree we gotta stop. I would argue that's rare. And in this case, Merrill was like, in that audio, listen, we gotta stop. And so the woman was like, you mean we're not, that other night when we had sex, is that the last time we're ever having sex? He's like, we gotta stop, yes, it's over, it's done. She didn't like that. So she leaked that audio over to a reporter and it was reported on. So my point is, see what happens? Yeah, see what happens? Every time this kind of stuff comes up, you gotta show your partner, see what happens? Don't do it. Don't do it. Doesn't end well. Don't do it. That's the important part of this story. That's it. That's all there is to it.
That's hilarious. I didn't know you were going there. Okay, so that's your conclusion from this story. Okay.
That's my conclusion, yes.
Yeah. By the way, she says in the audio, like, we gotta stop. Like, do we have to stop? And he's like, we gotta, I think. Like, he wants to do it again. It's so obvious. And I don't know if she was baiting him but since she was recording, she probably was. And she got him to admit the dozens of different sexual encounters that they had. And so I want to read you the quotes on that because it's hilarious. Hours earlier, Anna read you the mea culpa, I'm so sorry, I'm embarrassed, etc. Hours earlier, not days, not weeks, not months, not years. Hours earlier, he said, let me say unequivocally that these baseless allegations are entirely false. And then they're like, here's the tape. And what is in the tape? Quote, discussion of various sexual acts as they performed during dozens of romantic encounters. And he's like, oh, my bad, my mistake. Those dozens of sexual encounters that I talked about recently on the phone with my mistress slipped my mind. Oopsie. Okay, so look, I have two serious points out of this. Number one, don't let politicians and it's mainly Republicans, although sometimes now it's happening on the left too, shame you about your sex life, your love life, who you love, who you care about, and what you do with them. So there's a lot of moralizing And I guarantee you the people who do it the most are the biggest hypocrites. It's a guarantee, it happens every time. So when you hear somebody moralizing about like, oh, you shouldn't do this in your bedroom, dollars to donuts, I bet you 10 to 1 that's what they're doing in their bedroom, and way worse. Okay, so they're all liars, they're all humans, they're all humans. We are built to have sex, okay? And so then the second thing is to the press, well, you for God's sake stop believing politicians. They just write down their statements as if it's true, right? And this is the billionth politician in a row, no matter what the topic is. Unequivocally baseless allegations, entirely false. Okay, fine, I did it. Okay, they lie all the time. And the natural assumptions or the base assumption for reporters is politicians are telling the truth. No, I swear to God, you should flip that assumption because you're making an assumption either way. You should assume that they're lying until proven otherwise.
The person you're having an affair with is gonna show up to your home. It's gonna happen. You're gonna be like, your wife is gonna be making dinner, the kids are already gonna be seated at the table, and you're gonna hear that knock on the door. Just like, don't do it, don't be stupid. That's all I'm saying. She's gonna show up to your, and by the way, vice versa. I'm not trying to pick on women here. It just never ends well. Why are you gonna be dumb? Come on.
By the way, I thought you were mainly directing this to your husband. Like, no, she's gonna show up. Don't you do it. It's a really bad idea.
He knows. He knows.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.